Alright, welcome back to another episode of Game Crafters, where today we are still continuing building grid spaces. Though I will say we are still making progress on Terraria. I've colored in... What do I have colored in right now? I think the only things I have colored in right now are basically just the Destroyer, the Twins, the Eater of Worlds, the... Skeletron Prime. Brain momentarily forgetting how to do things real quick. We've made some progress. I think the only thing we haven't colored in yet is the Flying Dutchman. This is off to a wonderful start. And, of course, the Empress of Light we haven't drawn yet in outline department because I wanted to try to at least get some progress done with. I don't even know if I'll get to her in that season, but we'll see. So anyways, yeah, if you enjoyed today's episode, please leave a like and subscribe for more. We are still building, but at the very least, we are nearly closing in on being done with the thumbnail. I mean, this week is the last recording week for Raft. I mean, I'm pretty much just like 100% certain that this is going to be the end of Raft. Obviously. I mean, of course it's going to end. We beat the game. We are about to take on the not secret, but the true final boss, the raid boss, if you will. The one that is actually not really that difficult if you utilize specific strategies. I would like to see like a group of people actually take on a full-on strategy of just like, you know, you have like your group of 4 with like all their buffs and whatnot. You go on ahead and just slash, and you have your ranger and your tank and whatnot. Not tanks, but like melee users and whatnot. Actually just try to have a full-on battle with it. I feel like you kind of have to cheese it in order to be able to like fully beat it solo-wise, because there's just no way you could do it like normal attack style kind of. It's unfortunate, but that's just how it is. Anyways, yeah, we are pretty much almost done with that. Like, the only thing left now at this point is basically just, well, the obvious. Get our hands on some rare stuff. That's going to be a task and a half, that's for certain. I'm not going to worry about that too much. I'll put this on like 3 and just increase the size to like 25 so I have like a nice even. I don't even need this here. This is not needed in this department. So yes, that is our current objective. Oh, fuck, right. Of course. At least not here, it seems. Where is this? Oh, right, it's all the way up here. Well, I guess it doesn't matter. Unless we did like this. Or, you know, instead we have this one be a 25, and instead we just make this a 6 and do this so that this is accurate where it is. Maybe not here. Okay, scratch that. 5. You will be a 5. And then you, well, you'll be whatever the hell you need to be. I'll bring you to a 7. But having this as 25 makes the most sense to me. So, anyways, yeah, we only really got like a few weeks left to get Terraria finished, and the Terraria's thumbnail finished, not Terraria itself, obviously. But I'm sure we can get that done with. We're on the part that's relatively simplistic, I would say. All we gotta do is just color in the Flying Dutchman. We'll shade and texture every single one of them in. And then at some point we'll do the Empress of Light after we do the background, I'd say, just in case. And then boom. Effect rocks and all that stuff, and then we're pretty much just golden at that point. I do believe that there's going to be a mountain here, so I'm going to have to, like, start a mountain, it would seem. So anyways, yeah. Soon we'll be able to start doing this stuff off camera as well as on camera. The only thing we won't be able to do is zone building yet until I do the voice logs. And once the voice logs are pretty much set, all I gotta do after that is basically just build zone. Then eventually start working on the music for the next zone. I think the next zone we plan on making after this will be this zone right here. The Ruined Forest. And then after that, we'll alternate over to this zone over here. These two should be the quickest. This one's like kind of the middle hub world of the entire, I guess, despite the fact that technically it's like, it's not in the middle. Though I guess it's more middle-esque in a sense. If like you're exploring the whole island and then like going over to here to get to here and over to here. It's the hub world, essentially. It's where you go to like get, after you get all the levers pulled, after you get all the colored keys, and then after you get all the voice logs. That's basically the entire purpose of the third zone. And that's why in the third zone you can see that the skull lever is easier to get to compared to this one, which requires you to go into this area, the hidden jungles, and this one, which requires you to go into the deep oceans. Because that is technically the first skull lever you should find. Anyways, yeah, like, that's pretty much the plan. I'm getting to a point where I need to, like, start working on this off camera so we can actually make more progress, because progress right now is stagnant. And that's just primarily due to the fact that I have so much stuff on my plate as is, and it's a lot. Also, I'm not taking this into consideration that this is like this. This is not right. But hey, I could basically just do this and it's good. And increase this to 21, I'd say. So yeah, it's a lot. Progress is going to be made soon. All I need to do is just finish the thumbnail for Terraria, and then we're golden. And I already got, like, all of the Borderlands. Not all of it. Like, I don't have every single bit of 3, but I have some of 3. I tried to get this stupid deal, but whatever moronic imbecile in charge of making that at 2K just somehow made a duplicate. And Steam could have probably just had a temporary system in place. I mean, it literally was only like, what, 30-something odd dollars? What does it matter if I'm spending like a dollar extra? Like, compared to the 300 that it is, and probably is not anymore because the time has passed, it's fine. Like, ideally, we have all of the series that we can work with for, like... Because the entire purpose of the Borderlands playthrough is that we have a whole bunch of games to get through. Oh, wait. I mean, I guess this could be, like, slightly different. So then, thumbnail-wise, it won't be, like, a pain in the ass to work with. You know, Borderlands series, an hour of that every week, I feel like would get us probably over almost 100 episodes, question mark. It depends. Not sure. It's been a while since I played it, and we obviously would be starting with 1. Ah, yes, the good old days of 1. 1 had, like, an interesting, like, cadence to it, if I'm using that word correctly, where it's, like, gritty. It doesn't have, like, the humor that 2 has. It's, like, nice, raw, and pretty much just, like, a good first experience for a decent first game. And then, of course, 2 pretty much blows it out of the park, obviously. The rare instance where the sequel... Oh, fuck. I mean, technically this doesn't matter, but I still want this to not be fighting against itself. A rare instance where a sequel does really good. Because if you want to talk about terrible sequels. Apparently, because it's been a while since I've played Croc and Croc 2, but apparently the sequel for Croc, I don't remember it being this bad. But when I was watching old videos of Catakaris doing like reviews on Croc, and then remembering just the innate pain I felt in the first game alone, in certain sections, which hopefully this shouldn't be too bad, because when I went in and I did like a little like test to see if everything worked properly in terms of controller compartments, everything moved like a normal platformer, not Mario 64 tank controls that platformers used to do for some reason back in the days. I guess because everything was like directional pad wise. Like Crash Bandicoot is the only series that doesn't really have tank controls if you don't count Crash and Bash. But that's because you're controlling an actual tank. In this case, it does make the most sense. I also remember him playing that. God, I'm like over here thinking, Crash Bash remake would be nice. But then I go over to Catakaris' video and I'm like, I don't remember it being that limited. Were there really only that many, and then there's like several that are locked behind like a final area and then a bunch of other shit? It's like, it's just terrible. I'm remembering the crystal requirements. It's simply awful. If they do ever remake a Crash Bash, they better add like 30 mini games, and they better have an actual improved story mode CPU fight against minigame system, instead of whatever the hell that they have at the current point, which is, the obvious. It's a complaint that I'm pretty sure everybody has. Definitely don't want to play Crash Bash again anytime soon. Especially after watching that, like, not a pretty decent long time ago. A few months. Although I probably have it on the history of my phone, but I don't feel like looking at it. You know what I mean, and you know what I'm trying to get at here. So, anyways, yeah. Sequel-wise, talking about Croc, the second game. Apparently, the only way you can get 100% is if you go to this very strange cat man who, I've forgotten all about this particular fact, but the first game's gems sort of acted like rings from Sonic, in the sense that you collect them and you basically get a hit point that way. Because I remember Croc 2's heart system, but it's been so long since I've had any, look at Croc 1, played it, whatever you want to call it, where I don't even remember how the hit point system worked. And now I know. It's like Sonic. Oops. No 5, you fool. So anyways, yeah. I remembered that. Neat. Can't wait. Literally this week I'm recording it. But yeah, no. Apparently the gem system in Croc 2 was something you can now collect and then sell to the guy. And apparently there's like lifesavers that get you to certain aspects of the levels that like unlocks it or something. Not unlocks it, but like gets you to secrets to get you to 200 or 100%. God, 200% would be awful. All I remember is beating that game. I never got 100% on that one, nor Croc 1. That changes in this series. Fuck. That's the wrong size. I need 2. I need even 1. I know, it's easier to just do it like that. So yeah, when the time comes, which is this week, I'll record that and play some Painkillers, because if you're wondering why I'm talking about that now, next episode of Painkillers, after this episode of Game Crafters, that's the last episode of Painkillers. Black Edition, of course. I don't know when I plan on going back to the other ones. It's like, oh geez, do I really want to do overdose, which is apparently very broken unless you get mods to fix it. Like, throughout the entire course of Painkillers Black Edition, I have managed to get all 5 stars without using any mods, straight off of vanilla. The only asterisk I say we have is the fact that we needed to use the pain editor to bring a holy item that was literally underneath the map somehow. Still don't know where the hell they intended to put that item. And then bring it back up, save the map, and boom. See, that's the funny thing. Back in the day, you had like map editors and whatnot for things. Like Time Splitters was known for it. It's a system I wish was used more in games, like Mod Nation Racers, Time Splitters. And for Painkillers, I didn't really know too much about it. As a young me, I didn't really get past the first chapter because of the giant. And in all honesty, the giant can go suck a nut. Because I shot him in his nuts. That was the only proper way to deal with that motherfucker. Was just shoot him in the nuts. And that's what we did. Of course, there's also the Colosseums, but also just being under his nuts to where he can't use his stupid tornado bullshit go attack. You know, it's a hell of a lot better than going under the Colosseum. I've completely forgotten my point, but I think I remembered leaving off with saying going under his nuts, so, yeah. Anywho's and wits. For the most part, the second game of Croc is definitely an interesting one, and how the 100% system works. So if they were to ever remake that, I hope they change that system. So that 100% isn't just a huge guessing game on what lifesavers you need to buy. Like, it would be different if you had, like, a way to deploy it instead of just, like, it being randomized. I think that's really the only issue with that system. A way to deploy the lifesavers for whatever you need. Or maybe just have it be like, hey, here's a lifesaver system. If you don't have it, it won't use it up. And then it just goes on ahead, you click on it, and boom, lifesaver appears. I don't know why that can't be. Like, why they decided to do what they did with that, I'll never know. I do know that I did beat the game, just not 100%. That one, honestly, I feel like that one's 100% is a lot more of a pain in the ass. But then again, Croc 1 is pretty challenging in of its own right due to certain aspects. Certain aspects that I'm going to be quite miffed about, probably. But without tank controls, I feel like it'll be slightly easier and a lot less annoying. We'll see what happens. All I know is that I remember Croc being a bit of a challenge. Like, more so than usually. Like, Crash 1 is a challenge, right? The baseline Crash 1. And its challenge mostly just stems from the fact that if you want to get the gem, you have to get all the boxes without dying once. I would say that one does it relatively fine, except for like a few areas. That sucks a lot. Obviously, there's going to be a few areas. But young me did it once in the past, long, long ago. Baseline, or OG Crash 1. We did somehow manage to 100% that. I don't know how. Patience is high, apparently. But then Crash 2 and 3 came, and those were so much better. An actual save system. So on and so forth. But then 4 came into play, and my god, did they make 100% more of a chore. I don't really like the chore of trying to get 100% in all honesty. It's just too much effort for such little return. But anyways, Alright, you know what? I think you could probably stem a little bit of this stuff over here. Why not? No, not 3 or 4. 3. Make this 5. Alright. Okay. 2. Good. So, yeah. Don't know what else I was talking about. Oh, yeah. Beforehand, I was talking about painkillers and overdose potentially just being something I'm not sure I'm ever going to do. I don't know. We'll see. I don't think I can simply just go on into overdose with the cadence of, oh, all I need to do is just get all 5 stars and, you know, get all the tarot cards and then hope that, nothing breaks because this is a very broken game. At least overdose is. And you would be led to believe that. Yeah, it is definitely very broke. There's definitely very broken, apparently, according to most people. Though, admittedly, we did well enough. We didn't have too many issues with, well, aside from a few problems trying to get, like, the 5 stars, we didn't have too many issues with most of the game, like, at that point. Like, the only issue we had was Looney Park's constant crashing. And that was only because of the fact that apparently a hatch didn't spawn, or if it spawned, it kind of just vamoosed off into some random direction. That one I can't exactly tell you what that problem was. It definitely was a problem. I just don't know where, why, or how. I'm also putting this here just so I can see where this is supposed to end up. And you are one too high, too far away. Let me put you at like 15 so I can see where you're going. I guess it doesn't matter exactly where that goes. Yeah, and plus most of the painkiller games from long ago. Like, I think the Black Edition is the only one that has like a crap ton of levels in it. Like Overdose, I think has 15. Then the third one after that has a very small amount. I could just bring it up real quick and at least. For fuck's sakes, this stupid alarm. Levels. And of course, Google shows me nonsense. Out of my face. Also, what was that? Out of my face. Oh, no, never mind. That's just showing me the level, like, selection of 1. Yeah, so Overdose, outside of all that stuff, has, no, not 15, but 12. I guess 9 if you don't count the boss. Wait, no. Brain malfunction, not 12. Dumbass, fucking 5, 6, 12, 5, 17. 17 levels, minus 3, which would be 14 because of the bosses. I mean, 17 is not bad for Overdose, but then you go into Resurrection with 7 levels, an Steam exclusive level, which is co-op based, so 8 technically. And Redemption has 2 chapters. Chapter 1 has 6 levels. Chapter 2 has 2. And then Recurring Evil, 5 freaking levels. There's, of course, the remake and sequel, which has, like, a lot of stuff there, but in all honesty, it's not, like... Yeah, it's not... right, this stupid fucking Google... I swear to God, Google's stupid pop-ups of their stupid Gemini bullshit. Anyways, yeah. The only one that would be worth going through would be Overdose. If we don't want to have to go through the whole song and dance of trying to scramble to make thumbnails for a series that doesn't have too many levels after, like, the second installment, that's where the problems come into play. That's why I'm like, I'm not sure if I want to go on ahead and try to comprehend where the hell most of this is gonna go. And I would say that's like, at the very least, the way I see it, the second game we would have to make a new thumbnail with the new main character, obviously. Which I can't remember his name. I think it's something like Belial or some shish. Don't recall. And then there's, of course, the third game, which has another new main character. But the fourth game has Daniel and the other guy, I think. I don't know, there's like which one was the Steam exclusive one? I don't recall. I think it was the third one. I honestly don't remember where, the main character resides. I know they had like a third new character after like those two stories were finished, but I guess it doesn't really matter by that much at this point. Oh yeah, also this probably should... I really do need to get to the point where I get navigation set so I can run through the level and see what the hell is where it's at. Of course, I should have figured that the -10 was the one I needed to change. But yeah, this Painkiller series, I feel like the only one we would go through would have to be Overdose. But at the same time, Overdose is pretty freaking broken. I don't know why it's broken. I don't know why it's like terribly broken. I just see people talking about it and complaining about how broken it is, and I'm like, huh. Oof. Oh man. Without mods, it's like, oof. Ooh. Do I do this? Do I mod it, or do I try to just go full on raw vanilla? That's a good question. I do not know. So yeah, we're left off with that conundrum. I guess for now it doesn't matter. We got the Borderlands series, and I think the Borderlands series thumbnail making, at least, would be very easy. It's just gonna be a psycho with his hand up to his head like this, holding on to the ROTC cat who looks sad. But the ROTC cat, in all intents and purposes, is technically immortal. So even if that psycho did have a gun, it wouldn't do shit. But just hurt the cat's feelings. Because they are technically the souls of dead cats, so they cannot die a second time. I don't care what happens in Soul Society, you can't die a second time, a soul can't be cut. Listen to the song of the Metal Gear Rising. You should know that a soul can't be cut, no matter what blade you wield. And if you follow your own path of justice, something about the truth is being revealed. I don't remember. That's one of the songs from that series that I barely remember. I don't fully remember. Like some songs I remember and some songs I can't remember. Oh. Steam. Well, I still think that should be brought out like that much. That's another one I want to bring onto the channel at some point and play again. Would be nice. And at some point, I would like to do a Warframe full-on series too. I feel like Warframe in place of Sonic Adventures 2 is like perfect because that's the kind of series that feels like it could go on forever. Though I don't know if I'm going to be... I mean, it depends on how I plan on playing it. Okay. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Right now, our current goal in Sonic Adventures 2 still stands. I'm kind of using Sonic Adventures 2 as a pseudo art time with the talking and whatnot. I'm also using this as that too. It would explain why we haven't really done anything with art time yet, but also just because, I want to keep my full 100% focused attention on stuff, on drawing, as best as I can, as frequently as I can. Plus, we can get through videos as we're doing it. Like right now, currently, I'm working on Heavenly Deadland. I was hoping to get it done with today. Or at least the drawing. That wasn't going to happen. I technically have 2 more characters I gotta draw. I already color shaded and textured in all the characters, so they're pretty much just in there. I might just try to get the background done with first, then I'll just probably get the others in. Oh. Well, it's fine. We'll have some intricate pieces here and whatnot. Yeah, we got a couple of complex stuff still left in this month to get done with. It's up. Oh. Fuck. Wait, where are you? Steam. Okay, never mind. We're good. We can just bring this down, I guess. There we go. So anyways, yeah. Got a lot of stuff. Very busy. Thankfully, we got our Saturday off this, so I can hopefully try to get some stuff done with. I'm going to have to try to just get the drawing done with tonight during this time frame of the video coming out. Then I got to work on the other drawing. Then all of Saturday, hopefully most of Saturday, because hopefully I'll be able to get a somewhat of a head start, I can maybe work on the story a little bit. Oh, we'll see. I don't know. How much time is left? 20 minutes. It's a lot to do, and I don't have a lot of time. It really is just a whole bunch of time constraints and problems. It's the main reason why I'm putting Lethal Company on a hiatus, to save myself around an hour. Not even a full hour either. It depends on the what we're doing in the in that. Usually never ends up being a full hour. Usually ends up being 45 minutes. But we need all the time we can get if we're going back to 2-hour-long recordings. And I find that to be funny because technically we did at one point do 2-hour recordings with Raft. But then, that's fucking hate. Does this look like it's going out further? Because it's not. It literally isn't. That, my boy, is what you call an optical illusion. And it is. It is indeed an optical illusion. It really is. Jesus, it really just tricks you into thinking, oh yes, that's definitely that. No, it's not. That's not how that works. The 3D space and not a lot of texture to work with is very confusing. That's the thing about a black and white focused setting, is that sometimes it's very confusing to look at when you're building it. Though I think if you're moving through the map, it's not that big of an issue. Part of me wonders if I should have the arrows be a different color, though, but I don't know. I don't know. I think the arrows also... Well, do they? I mean, I could just check right now. I have the prefab. Man. There we are. Okay. I mean, yeah, this, I think... I would have to go in here to check. Ignore light. Ignore light. Yeah, so right here, you would just see an arrow that's pitch white. I mean, I don't disagree that probably is a saying, but pitch white. I mean, you got pitch black, but that makes the most sense. Pitch white? Pitch, please. I don't know. Right, this part is the part that I'm going to have to try to hope that I'm actually making the right size, and if I'm not making the right size, then yuck. I'll just have to adjust that. I mean, there's an easy way to tell if it's the right size, you know? And I should just move the player. Could just move the player right now in the position. It'll make my life a million times easier. Hey, player! I should just grab you so I don't have to find you. Hey, look, you're already kind of where you need to be. Just need to adjust your... Why am I doing like this? Just do... Okay, cool, great. I forgot there's a lot of other aspects here that makes it impossible for me to get to the player itself. It's fine. It's fine. Alright, we can go back to 1 now because we're going to be building other stuff, but let me move the player. Okay, yeah, I can see you. I can see you in your little spot. Oof. And remember, this is the zoom out portion. Ooh, yeah, we also need to be able to see the map when we zoom in too. This one's going to be tricky. Alright, look, we have a strategy, a planagy, a strategy. This is the zoom out section, right? I gotta remind myself every time because it's always like a long ass time since the last time I checked. Zoom out, zoom in. Yeah, okay, that's the zoom. We need to make sure that the zoom out at least is not being obstructed. That's the important part here. The main important aspect to all of this is to make sure that the camera is not obstructed. Even though the camera, I think, can still phase through the objects, we would prefer that it does not do that. So it actually looks good. I mean, just makes it look like it's not sloppily put together, you know? That's why we need to make adjustments to things whenever we need to make adjustments to things. This part, I'm not entirely too sure how it's gonna come out, but, you know. Yeah, go that far out, I'd say. What? Oh, for fuck's sakes. Optical illusion again. How did I get tricked once more? Ugh. It's fine. That's fine. Okay, you can see it, but I don't even think it matters that much. It's a mountain. The mountain's not gonna look clean and pristine. It's gonna look whatever the fuck a mountain wants to look like. A mountain's a mountain. Alright. I don't think you are lined up. Yeah, you're not lined up. Of course you're not lined up. I think this is probably going to be like a tad bit out, but not too much, so... Oof. Oof. Oof indeed. So maybe like... Nope, wrong one. 3. No. Here. 2. Although I could have probably just stuck with 1, but whatever, this could just have the 1. And then you can just be 1 and going off to the edge here. Okay, where are you at, camera? You're over here. So we basically just need this entire section to be unfettered by anything in the way. So, okay, where should you... Okay, if I did that, you'd just end up being 10. So why don't I just have you be a 7 and a 7, so I can have a much larger space to work with. Okay, go back to 5 and 5 then. I gotta even shit out. Boo. Boo. Okay, so here would probably be a good place to end with this. A nice mountain to kind of block your view of the levels before you, right? Because the other areas that we have don't exactly have too many mountains blocking your view. I mean, there is the second path and the high cliffs are the first zone, I guess it probably would have been fine to say. There is that, but that's like, I don't even think you would see it anyways. Probably, possibly. And it's like moments like this, it's like, do we need to have that much detail? Because this is like, the camera's not going to see it. The camera's only going to like be right here and then zoom in. You can see this part here, so that's the part that really only needs to be adjusted. It's called trying to be efficient. And efficiency is helpful. And reducing waste, even though there's literally like no time constraints. It's like whenever I get it done with, I get it done with. Just as long as I'm making progress is what I say. Is everything I'll say. Okay, hold on. Where are you at? Right. Fuck. Where are we at right now in time? 40 minutes. Okay, so we have time to figure something out. Here, no. Let me go on ahead, put this at 0, 0, 25, 25, and bring it down to level. The average level, I think it will probably be here if I were to have to take a wild guess. This seems right. Though if that's the case, I do kind of want you to line up with this just because. Or do I? I mean, this is just a good way to tell me that that is where the branched off part is, you know? You're there doing your thing. I'll bring you to 7, bring you out. The mountain continues. Wait, no. The mountain continues at 9. And then it keeps sloping downwards. Like, I think the sloping downwards part you might be able to see, but if anything and all else, I don't know. What? Fucking A. God. What happened here? Why did you get fucked? Maybe because I accidentally let go of the thing. I don't know. Bastard. How dare you? These numbers need to be precise. I don't need them being slightly off. I guess we could probably have this come inwards like so. Though if that's the case, we don't want it to go too inwards because we still kind of need to have some space open for certain things. And I guess, yeah, sure, this could kind of cut off, but I feel like we also kind of want to have this continuing this streak here. Okay, so if that's the case, then I guess, for the sake of simplicity, you will have stuff go over you. I don't think most of this is going to be a problem, but I am still going to try to do something about it. The general positioning of the camera means that this probably won't be in the way, right? It probably won't be in the way. I'll look at the camera after I'm done here to see what the zoom out for this looks like. I imagine the zoom out isn't going to be too bad, right? Like, we could still see the general pointing in the right direction, with nothing in the way and nothing kind of screwing us over. Alright, I'll make you like 15. I'm pretty sure we have more than enough space. Yep, we do. Good. Good. And this leads us over to here, which is like a whole path and whatnot. Probably have like a little nice, narrow... Maybe we'll see what happens. It's supposed to be the mountain crossroads, but I've noticed there hasn't been too many mountainous areas here, so I kind of want to try to fix that. Okay, the only thing here that needs to get adjusted is, like, we need something to go here. Boom. And, wait, hold on. Before I do that, 3 and 3. We don't need this to be giant. We just need this to be able to, like... Okay, can I, like... There we go. I felt the thing just not moving in the right direction, or at least not moving properly. And then all I gotta do is just move this up. Put this at, like, 3. See, like, most of that doesn't matter. You can't see it. It's not going to be a problem, so we don't need to worry about it, right? How much time is left? 15 minutes. Wow, Jesus, I didn't think we'd have 15 minutes, but apparently we do. Well, that's great. Don't know what more to talk about. We kind of said everything we needed to say. Though I guess I will say, I think I did misremember most of the criteria regions. I think I said jungle top when I meant to say jungle canopy, and I meant to say ancient undergrowths, not overgrowths. So it's been a minute. I barely remember that episode and what I said in it. So, yeah, I'm not sure. But look, the point is, my memory, at least from that episode, I don't even know how long ago that was, my memory isn't the best most of the times, but sometimes it is good. For example, I can't even remember the region of, not regions, the continents of Etheria, my own world that I've made. I can remember Pamanor, but that's only because Pamanor is pretty much the entire continent that the first season of Elementals Reborn takes place in. Obviously, I'd remember that because it's the area that the characters are in. And it's been mentioned a few times. I mean, I think the others were mentioned. I think I just remembered one of them. I think Lonx Terra or something. And some of the continents were named in the episode too, and I do remember Lonx Terra being mentioned, but I think that's because of the fact that Gemthru is still trying to find a Queen's Rose to give to his queen. You remember the Queen of Nature? Or not, you probably don't read those episodes. Or maybe you do. Maybe you do read those episodes. I would say it's an interesting series. It's nice and episodic in the beginning to kind of just give you some time to spend with the characters. It's nice to have those particular series where it's just it's not really filler, but it's more so just you get to see characters interacting with each other more. And there's no stakes, or at least no massive stakes. And yeah, it's just nice. Yeah, there's little hints and bits of the main threat at hand, but as it stands at the moment of the first season, in the beginning, it's just nice group going on an adventure, trying to find the answers that they are looking for, trying to solve the mysteries of the Elemental's rebirth. And it's just a nice little adventure that they all have. I like it though. Okay, I think that probably goes over it, but I'm going to say that one is fine too. Actually, no, that doesn't go over it. We're fine regardless. Anyways, yes. Not able to remember all the continents of the Etheria. Planet of Etheria. And I can remember most of the regions that I've made in Criteria, if I don't mistake a name to be something else entirely. It is nice, though. We got the glacial brink finished. That took a while to make. Don't underestimate Criteria. You'll be in the world of hurt on the time front. Time was not very kind to me. Department. It kind of kicked my ass. It's you thought Criteria was going to be quick? And then it just took me almost a whole week to get done with the fucking first thing on a Saturday. Then the whole writing process. And the science that I needed to look up for most of it, too. I needed to try to, figure out what the hell the... no. I needed to try to figure out what the freezing point for the ocean water is. I need to see if I can reasonably have the description say that if it goes past below 0 at this point, because the depths of the oceans in Criteria are huge. Huge, bigger than the planet probably. And so far, we don't know the scale of criteria in comparison to anything else at the moment. We know it's giant. It's the largest planet in all the known universes. But we don't know the exact scale. But I know the exact scale. I have a general idea, but I'm not going to spoil it yet. No. Only when the drawing comes out that finally just shows it. And that won't be occurring until we get to the 20th region, which will fill in the last creatures from the book. Which I need to take a look at that book again, because when I'm done with the 30 regions, I need to see whatever landscape biomes I had written down for that to, wait. Fucking nut. It's fine. Anyways, yeah, as I was saying, I need to figure out the whatever biomes I have left. I have at least a few regions that I have in mind that I want to work on, and maybe a revisit of one of the regions, but a different condition, like a weather condition, so to speak. I have something in mind for that. Yep, that I do. I do indeed have something in mind for that at the moment. Alright. No. But yes, this is going to be nice. We're on 13 regions made so far. The next one's going to be a volcanic region, and another one's going to be I think probably the last jungle region of this particular jungle that we're working on. And it's going to be an interesting one. There's going to be a few interesting ones, because it's how am I going to draw this? How am I going to do this? What can I do? In what way can I make this look good? In relations to everything else that we've had. How am I going to do this region? Those are going to be interesting ones, because it's this is definitely different from all the other regions I've done in more ways than one. Yeah, I haven't been doing most of those. Because it depends on certain aspects of the mountains, right? Some of it you can see, some of it you can't. Like this one you can't see. So I think ideally kind of that branching off down there makes the most sense. Cliff sides and whatnot, because it's an overhanging cliff. And whatever, it's fine. Okay, I think this is done. I mean, at the very least, I can get rid of this. I might call this early just so I can, be done, lay in bed, and relax before I go to bed, hopefully on a reasonable time frame. Alright, let's see this camera. Ooh, it's going to be interesting. How is this going to work? Okay, I have an idea. I'm going to move some stuff back. At least one. I think at least one is fine enough, right? For the most part, everything here works. That one I can at least get rid of, I'd say. Wait, no. If I'm going to get rid of anything, it's got to be you. You could be 3, and then... There we go. Okay. Where was the zoom in again? The zoom in is right here. Which means... Chances are... Can I... No, you won't show me both. I think the zoom in will just zoom past the thing, right? God, there's no way to know unless I can just get you to move your ass, but you're not going to move your ass, are you? I wonder if this background... I mean, we could do a test here. No, the background didn't change colors. Alright, whatever, it doesn't matter. We don't need to change that anyways. I don't even know if this can... I mean, it obviously should be able to change. You need a skybox, but I don't have a skybox. This is a game that doesn't really need a skybox. It really doesn't. Let me see, how thick are you? Pretty thick. I mean, I'd say that should be fine. Alright, look at that. We got like a nice mountain separating stuff here. I want to see what this looks like before I do anything else, though. Alright, we're right here. Yeah, and it goes here, then goes up. I wonder if this is just going to be a nice cliffside. You probably can see this here, but there's probably going to be like a nice mountain here, preventing you from being able to see maybe a lever. I don't know. Hey, well, the lever is placed right here, so obviously there would have to be a lever here, so the thing would be blocked here. You wouldn't see the lever. Unless you watch this, then you know that there's a lever here. But if you didn't watch this, oh boy, you don't know there's a lever here. You don't know me talking about you not knowing that there's a lever here. This at least makes sense, because if you're right here and the mountain's there, you should be able to see the lever. But I really need to, like, okay, let me see. Which ones here are going to be a bit of a problem? How much time is left? 3 minutes. Wow, doesn't matter cutting it short. This one might slightly be a problem just due to the... I mean, I guess the arrow will be going, like, here. Here. This one should be fine. That one should be fine. That one should be fine. This one, I don't know. That one should be fine. Definitely not should. It will be fine. This one is going to be tricky. Yeah, because the arrow goes here and the bridge starts here. I'm going to have to figure something out. I'm going to have to figure something else out for that. This one might be a bit trickier because the arrow will be pretty much obscured. That one's fine. How did I not notice this? It's fine. Wow, how did I not notice that? That's like egregious how I didn't notice that. Are you fucking kidding me, brain? What the hell? It's fine. We can make 4 adjustments. We can make brief adjustments while we're here. I think. Yeah, we can make adjustments. It's not that big of a deal, even though it's very frustrating that I somehow didn't fucking notice that. Very frustrating. But it's fine. We can adjust. We can make adjustments where needed. Okay, well. It's fine. Everything is fine. Except for this. This is not fine. And this. This is kind of also not fine. 6. Damn it, 6. Well, now that I think about it. 12? 10? Should have figured. Funny enough, you are both kind of where you need to both be. And that's fine. God, how do I not notice these things? Okay, now you're fine. Honestly, that being like this makes the most sense. The gate is here, the thing goes through, yada yada yada, fixed. I probably did notice this, but then I forgot to change it, so we never got around to fixing it. Other than that, you're gonna be a tricky bitch. You should be fine, and you should be fine too. Okay, good, great. I'm glad that we're making mistakes here and noticing them. Alright, well, that's all the time I have for today. Literally 12 seconds left. Look at that. I thought I was going to cut it short. It's fine. I'm just going to go over here and go to scenes and just leave it here. Did we really only just make 3? No, we didn't even make 3. No, wait, no. We stopped here. 1, 2, 3. Mountains are a different story. Anyways, that's all the time I have for today's episode, folks. With that being said, thank you all for watching today's episode of Game Crafters. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like, subscribe for more, check out their playlists, and of course, today's episode of Game Crafters right over here, and the most recent episode of Raft RTC Edition right over here. Anyways, thank you all for watching. I'll see you all in the next episode. Later.